Good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is 8:30,
Good morning, good morning.
9:30
How's it
Eastern.
going,
Market
community?
is
It
now
is
open.
8:30.
8:30
Good morning,
is
good morning. How's it
5:30-minute
going,
candle.
community?
Market is
It
now
is
right out the gate.
good
30
morning,
is
good morning. How's it
5:30-minute
going,
candle.
community?
Market
It
is now
is
right out the gate.
good
Gapped up
morning,
$2
good morning. How's it going,
overnight.
community? It is
All the way here.
good
Gapped up
morning,
$2
good morning. How's it going, community? It is
overnight.
good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning. How's it going, community? It is good morning, good morning.
All right, all right. No voice? Still good? Hello, hello, check, check. No good? No, it said some people said the audio is garbage. No idea. So hopefully it works now. Okay, cool. All right, so 445.65, big green candle out of the gate here on the 3-minute chart. We've got the POC on the 3-minute down here at 443.43, which is way down, just about equidistant from the market open. Yep, I don't know what happened there, but it appears to be fixed, so let's roll with it. Nice, Elf Dog. Good job. Good job. Look at that big green candle here on the Qs, and the VIX is just rolling over finally 1805, and looks like we're heading back down to the mid to lower 17s, which is definitely bullish here, and appears obviously that this little dip that we had was extremely temporary and barely even there. Barely even there. I'll be watching the volume of the VIX today. Right now, we've got definitely some bullish volume here. Squeeze volume is firing to the upside. I'm going to check the 5-minute chart as we're still climbing here. 5-minute POC is 443.46. Qs are definitely still green. XLF, XLK is green. XLB, XLE, everything is definitely bullish. XLV is down, healthcare industry, but we'll see how this thing wicks out. So buying volume coming into this a little bit. NASDAQ is green. Everything is extremely green. So definitely bullish sentiment here. We'll see how this first few minutes play out. Current range already is 445.78 to 445.14. It's about a 50-cent range. What is with all the exclamation marks? All right, audio is fine now. Cool, cool. All right. Do you think the next pullback at the 50 will be in 30 days-ish or before that? Man, it's hard to tell because this is a little different action. The dip and rip happened so quick. We didn't even get down to the 50. We'll play it as it comes here. So things changed up here. The cycle was a little bit different than normal. So we'll see what happens. You know, I will still anticipate some going on new all-time highs. The buyers are definitely here. We're definitely bringing this back up. A lot of news surrounding things here. We are at 445 plus, and it appears we're heading right up to 450. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll let this next week play out before I start really going back into that cyclical sentiment. We'll see how this next week's plays out first. What's up, NotaB101? Thank you. Hope you had a nice weekend as well. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to all the new members in the Patreon and in the Discord. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a nice weekend, a restful weekend, so you can rest up and make a little money this week. I've been looking forward to today. I love that. I love the excitement on Sunday night, Monday morning, when I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning on Mondays, and I'm ready to go. and do all my prep work, and I know that this week it could be a banger. So hope y'all feel the same way. It's awesome stuff. All right, so double green candles here. So this thing opened what at 445.13. We're already up to 445.71. That's a little 60 cents jump right here, right out of the gate. Hey, there was a big red wick on, or big red candle on the Qs, and it got wicked up. So bought it right back up. That would have been a good buying opportunity there. NASDAQ is a little red. Futures are still raging, 4461 already. And we are already over a 100-point gain from the lowest. We dropped 80 points. Now we're just up, just absolutely raging at 4461. Sunday night used to be filled with dread. Now it's excitement, baby. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So triple green candles in a row, all the way up to 445.89. Bounce off the 434.90, so we're already $10 above where we were on Thursday. Crazy, crazy gains. So we'll see how these candles play out here, see if we get a little bit of a profit taking and then rebound. Definitely should be bullish today. Look at this. Just NASDAQ is just, the Qs are just going crazy. Crazy bullish action. NASDAQ is just massive green buying action here, as well as the futures. And SPY is still up to 44604. Already got to switch the calls up to the 448s. 447s already, the deltas are way too low already, so I'll go with the 448s now. The calls, August 27th. Nice, Emma Drake. So 4 green candles in the row as the buying continues. NASDAQ looks extremely green, as well as the futures here at 4463. 13 points since pre-market action. So we've got about a dollar range so far. I'd love to see that thing play out. I love me a good dollar range, especially when it plays true to the range. We haven't had a good range day altogether in a while. I know we had about an hour where it played off the ranges, but having a good range day, it's good stuff. Just as good as a trend day, in my opinion. What's up, Sebastian? How you doing? I don't like deltas that are in the 20s or in the teens. It's just too much, too small. Take a look at the bonds here. The bonds are flat after gapping down here. They kind of creeped up, and now they're just trading flat back and forth, green, red. XLV is flat after popping up. All the other sectors are kind of diminishing after popping up. XLKs is raging, and VIX is falling 1755, coming back down to the 16s and 15s apparently after topping out in the 24s. So crazy, crazy action this morning. Look at that, just straight line up from the futures after opening up. Strong bullish action. The 446.26. Yeah, no kidding. If this continues to rage, we'll end up 450 today. You ain't kidding. Let's make some money, yeah, buddy. This appears to be one of those days where you buy any pullback if we ever get a pullback. It's just crazy bullish action. The amount of bullish action we've had in the past 2 days is just ridiculous. I remember this day was nuts. Having these $3 swings, you know, this 439 to 437, $2 and $3 swings as we crept up to 441, just absolutely nuts. And then this, you know, this pre-market action here where we dropped, gap down, and then completely raged non-stop from 437 to 443, just bam. So, and here it continues on. It continues on. Nice, John. Little 6%. So 446.15 is that resistance right there. I've got 446.73 is the big volume node, which is up here. And let's zoom out just a touch and kind of take a look at things together on the volume nodes. Right now on the 1 month, you've got 445.54 as support. You have no volume nodes for the 3 month, for the 1 month up here. The 3 month, you've got just a touch small volume. We spent so little time up here that there's not much volume at price to analyze. But right up here, you've got this little volume node here at 446.76. That'll be a resistance. And then right here, you've got a touch of resistance. Not much. It's hard to analyze any of it, like I said, because we have so little time up here. We're already at extended levels from being down $10 2 days ago. And we already extended. So we'll see what happens today. Interesting action that for sure. Looking at the 1 year chart that we were analyzing last week so vigorously, is that we have the straight V-line recovery that happened very quickly. Only 2 red days out of all this. Here we've got all these red days, and we had some signs of weakness coming, then the flush, signs of weakness, then the flush, signs of weakness, flush, all this big downside here. But here we had strength into the flush. So red, didn't even get to the 50, and this massive buy up immediately off of this down V recovery here. So it happened very quick, neck ripping volume coming in here to bring this thing back up. Should be curious to see how this thing goes into the month going into September. A traditionally bearish month of September. We'll see if we have faced the bearishness that we had last year. Last year, I remember September and October, man. That was the time to play puts. So red candle 445.96. Yeah, if you took some losses last week, you know, just this is one of those weeks where you put your boots back on and you creep back into things. Don't revenge trade. Don't take too big a position size. This is where you want to ease back into things. So I know last week for me was, I think last week was the worst week I've had in a year. So in terms of win rate, so it's one of those things you ease back into things. Obviously, there's some things that went against a couple of things that I was thinking about. So you want to ease back into it. It doesn't matter who you are. So one or two plays, one or two contracts, one or two, you know, whatever your position size is, get back into it, and then you get that confidence back up and you go on to the races here. So it's all about controlling your emotions and control about the psychology of things. If you can do that, you can be successful. Look at that. NASDAQ's completely just absolutely raging. Bounced off the 15,124 up to 15,175. It's 70 cent or 70 point jump here just in the opening hours. VIX 1753. The next pivot is down at 1731. And then lower 17s and then 16s if we continue to fall. Isn't it though, Sebastian? It's amazing. It's amazing. Made 430 and then lost 153. Hey, that's still a great return. So there's nothing wrong with that, Mermaid. You got to take the wins with losses with the wins. Nice, Brian. My pie mining did pretty good last week. Great returns on my pie mining. I'm just kidding. Nice, Emma Drake. Well done. Just found your channel last week. Already learned a ton. Thanks. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for being here. It's all, yeah, just dig in, ask questions, learn as much as you can. It's what it's all about. So thanks for the good words. Thanks for being here. How often do you use the Theta Kingdom strategies? Whenever I do my swings, I always dip in there to, you know, kind of go through some sentiment, bounce some ideas off people. Yeah, no kid, no scrapping. Yeah. Old scrap iron. I sell strangles. I do some credit spread like that on strangles, but I do not do iron condors now. We're just not here about the losses. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you got to. That's why I don't. I discourage. That's why I actually discourage like bragging and posting screenshots of wins and stuff like that, because no one ever shows their entries live. They don't show their exits live, and they don't show their losses. So it's like it's easy to brag about your wins. It's easy to screenshot your profits when that's all you're doing. So that's the whole premise behind me discouraging bragging and screenshotting stuff in the server, because it's all manipulated. So it's like it's easy to say you're up 30% on a call when you don't say your entry. Say your entry live, and then when you're actually right, do it, because yeah, it creates FOMO. Exactly. Other people want to jump in stuff like that. Yeah, so it's just not a healthy environment to be doing that. Even I don't like doing that. I hate live calling, but it's what the people want. So do you mostly trade on SPV? Yep. I do all my trading on the SPY, rarely the Qs, and then SPX. I go back and forth between SPY and SPX, depending on the market conditions. And then occasionally I'll throw in some pre-market futures trades. So popping up 44610 SPY right there. Qs are still climbing, Nasdaq's still climbing. There's XLK. So looking at the volume, we went over the pre-market supports and resistance. They're all based on pivots and the volume at price nodes. Right here, the next volume is 44342 on the current 3-minute chart. It's way down. We'd have to have a major gap fill. I don't see that happening today. Very bullish action. After today, I'll be curious to see how things roll into the week going forward. So do we climb on past 450 and beyond and then continue our cyclicals, our monthly cyclicals? Because it was down to the day. It just happened a lot quicker in terms of the actual price action. Yeah, I'm not talking about any particular person. I'm just talking about overall in general, because I think it could get away from the sentiment of the teaching environment. Because I'm not here, even me. I didn't start this to do play calling. Like, I don't want anybody else to play calling. I want this to be an educational server where we can all learn how to do this responsibly and healthily and have a community to bounce ideas off of one another. We're play calling, and it's like, yeah, it's great. Bragging about profits is not necessarily the point of the server, mine or anybody else's. What's up? How you doing, Snakes? How you doing? This is looking like a pullback area. Would you take a call? I'm not too comfortable taking a call right here yet until I know exactly what this thing's going to do. This thing could trade sideways until 10:30, and then jumping up and going sideways. So that's right, Lee Rat. The second you start getting euphoric and bragging about making money in this market is the second you get smacked down. I promise you. People ask themselves, I don't know how someone can lose 300 grand or whatever, or 400 grand, like you see it on Wall Street Bets and all that stuff. Like that, someone was talking about it the other day, and it's like, it's not as hard as you think it is. I promise you, it's not as hard as you think it is, because you have to involve your emotions. You get that sunk cost fallacy where I can double down and make it back up, and you dig yourself in a deeper hole, and it can do it. So, and you can do it on a dime. You can see how you can see how quickly market conditions can change. How you develop a sentiment, you develop your strategy, and the market just kind of tweaks things, and it goes against it. I mean, I killed it for 2 months straight, and then I've had a rough August, and that's what happens. Just sentiment changes just a little bit, kind of goes against a little bit of your strategy. Maybe you get a little euphoria trading in, you get a little cocky, and things change. So it's easy to change on a dime. So you got to be careful. You don't want to be euphoric when you win, and you don't want to be a pity party when you lose. You got to maintain, stay level. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate that. Made great gains on SPY and lost my butt on Qs. Lesson learned, buddy. Yeah, lesson learned. I've had negative 5 figures, never 6. Yeah. You rationalize huge losses while watching it burn down to nothing. Unfortunately, that's true. That's exactly how big losses happen. You always say to yourself, I'll never take a big loss. But then you enter a play and it goes against you. Something that you're sure on, it goes against you. And then you get emotionally attached to it. Oh, if I just wait 10 more minutes, it'll bounce. If I just wait 30 more minutes, it'll bounce. If I just wait till tomorrow, it'll bounce. And it continues to fall, or it continues to go up if you took puts. And then you double down. Oh, it's got to bounce here. I'm going to buy double the amount now. I'm going to double down. And then you lose twice the money. And then here you are sitting on a 67% loss on a position size that's higher than you anticipated. And you lose a big money. And 3 days after a big win, you're sitting there with maybe you blew up your account, you've got nothing left, maybe you've got nothing, and you're like, oh crap, how did this just happen? And then you start the pity party. Then you go down there's whatever stages of grief there are, 10 stages of grief, whatever, and you start beating up on yourself because you don't know how it happened, which you know exactly how it happened, but you like to play the pity party. So you got to control those emotions, man. The emotions. Big TLT sale. So that's yep. So yeah, so let's look at the bonds here while we're here. That's a good comment. I'm glad that's a good segue here. I'll get off my soapbox. So since August 12th, where was it? Right here. We've had this, we had this sell off into August 12th, which is bullish action. And then August 12th is when we started the increase in bonds, the buying back up in the bonds, which correlated with the kind of weakness in SPY. And we're at here at 150.84. We didn't quite get to the highs again. So as this continues to climb, which I thought it was going to, we were going to have some weakness in SPY. But this huge bullishness in SPY makes me believe potentially that the rotation out of the bonds are coming again, at least until September. Because September is traditionally a weak month. We'll see how that goes going into the last week and the first week of the month. I'm fresh off a pity party. I feel you. It's easy to do, man. It's easy to do. So I posted a very neat video last night. I was just, doing my market research. I was starting a couple of YouTube videos to create for y'all, and I just came across the 2008 market crash video. And what it is like a 3-minute montage of news reports of as the market was crashing in 2008. Like literally, like they started out like one day the market was raging all-time highs, and the next day it's like, oh, we have a little bit of a weak pre-market here. Oh, the Dow's down 100 points. Oh no, the Dow's down 300 points, 400 points, 700 points, and you can see them just like get more and more crazy and frazzled. So it was really interesting to see that and to see everything tank, and like the SPY tanked 7% in one day, all that kind of crap. So it's just interesting to see because that is going to come eventually. I mean, who knows when that's going to come, because that's what happens. That's what markets do. And it's going to come eventually. So it's interesting to see, and it kind of gave me goosebumps to figure out when that's actually going to happen again. When you want to take pictures of your P&L, take profit. That's absolutely right. Actually, that's pretty spot on. When you're ready to start screenshotting stuff, sell that crap. Yeah, so that's a good point, Tommy. Like when you start thinking about what you need to make for the week or where you need to make it back. So if you've got a dollar amount goal, you got to be careful, because if you like say on Monday, for example, you have, I don't know what it is, maybe $1,000 for the week. That's your goal, whatever it is, $100, and you take a loss on Monday. Now you've increased that amount you need to get back to. So you start, all right, now I need to double back. Now I need to come back twice as hard. Now I need to revenge trade. So you can put yourself in this mode where it's like quicksand. The harder you fight, the more losses you take, the bigger hole you dig yourself in. You have to be aware of that stuff. So don't focus too much on a dollar amount on your individual trades. Focus on the charts. Squeeze out your profits, and once you see the chart breaking down, then you close. Then you close. If you focus on that mentality, when you're wrong, you won't take as big of losses. All right, so Dragonfly Doji there at the top usually means reversal for a downside. We'll see how this thing plays out as it continues to climb. NASDAQ's got some red. XLF is still climbing up here. Qs are up there. The SPY is up top. The market crash when I'll start to do this full time. I'll give you a heads up. Well, guess what? We'll just play puts. Don't hold anything overnight. Dragonfly. I said Dragonfly Doji. That's a Doji candle. Doji setup. Yeah, so let's play puts. That's why I don't hold everything. Oh, that's why one of the reasons I don't hold anything overnight, because it's long term. Because if we do wake up and the Nasdaq is down, or the futures are down 100 points, 200 points, that's cool. We'll just play it at the open. So it's a great part about not holding overnight, because I bring it. If the market's going to collapse, bring it. I don't care. Like, I don't care about my real estate, or not my real estate. I do care about that. My retirement accounts, I don't care about those. I mean, I'm going to be in the market another 30 years. So let them crash. I'll just double dip. I'll buy dollar cost average. I'll add more, and we'll go from there. But in terms of my day trading, let it crash. I'll play puts all the way down. Yeah. So market sentiment. So my watch list here, if everything starts turning red, if the VIX starts climbing, yeah, I'll start looking at puts, and the other way around, green and down on the VIX, and I'll start looking at calls. All market sentiment, yeah, and then I'll start getting into my technical indicators. Yep. Yep, I'm actually not going to touch puts today. I'm just going to buy. I'm going to buy dips. So y'all see what happens if you're on a bullish day like this. That's the thing. And you saw what happened Friday. Is that all my indications said buy a put, took a put, and then literally within 10 seconds it blew me out. So that is the caution of taking puts on a bull day, because even when things are starting to dip, you think we're going to get just a touch of a pullback here, the buyers can step in and blow you out. So that's why I'm going to avoid taking puts today unless I have an overall market change, which I don't see happening anytime soon. If we have an overall market change, yeah, we'll obviously look at puts. But let me look at that. You just had a red candle and it completely got bought up. Granted, low volume so far, but it completely got bought up. So today I'm completely avoiding puts unless I see an overall market change. Even if we have a little 50-cent pullback, I'm not going to touch it. When you do have more losses than usual, which I've taken more losses than usual, you got to take out all the variables. Take out all the variables. So on a crazy bullish day like this, take out the variable of puts. All right, fine. I'm going to take those out. Now I'm just going to focus on calls. I'm going to buy the dip. Remove the variables. Not yet, Will, because this is just ridiculous. It's just, look at this. Futures are going crazy. Massive buy up there. 446.71. So we had that red candle, came down to 446.17, and just like in seconds popped 60 cents. Yeah, I'm looking at August 27th. Now I'm probably going to have to change my calls again after those deltas. Nope, I'll stick with the 448s. Those are good. The deltas are 40 on these things. So if you did not hear the announcement, if you're on the new to the YouTube, I am doing a $1,000 giveaway in the month of September. So I'll be doing it on Friday, September 3rd. I'll be drawing out of a hat from all Patreon members, and I'll be giving away 5 $200, I guess, gift cards or whatever, however I can get the money to you, I guess. So I know there's going to be some, some international people that are not in the United States, and I'll have to figure out a way to get them the money if they get drawn. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, September 3rd. Yeah, I'll do it live. So everyone can see it. 1,000 smackaroos. I'll start to do that more often too. I'll start to do that more often. As we grow and grow, I'll do a bigger and bigger handout, bigger and bigger giveaway, and then we'll do different stuff too. Maybe we'll do some equipment, especially if I start to partner up with people. I'll do some equipment giveaways, stuff like that. What is your brutally honest advice you give to someone starting to learn? You are the problem. You are the problem. It's not the MMs. It's not the hedge funds. It's not Biden. It's not Trump. It's not whatever news event. It's you. You are the problem. You are losing because you are too emotional. It all comes down to emotions. This has nothing to do with technical experience. You could teach the most advanced trading strategies to a middle schooler. Everything in here you could teach to a middle schooler. It's about knowing when to apply. It's about controlling your emotions. Because we as humans are susceptible to bias. That is why when you're driving down the road and you say, I always hit this red light. Well, you're only going to notice it when you hit red lights. Whenever you're not going to notice it when you're blowing through green lights. But if you hit the same red light, you're going to say, oh, I always hit this red light. Well, you're only going to notice it when you hit the red lights. It's because of that confirmation bias. When you form a bias in your mind, it's so hard to break that. And it's all about controlling your emotions. That's what separates the winners from the losers. The successful traders from the unsuccessful traders is emotions. You're welcome. You're welcome. I promise you, if you could start focusing on emotions and controlling those, you'll be a better trader. That's the big thing for me. That's what completely changed me. Because I remember when I blew up my account when I lost 56 grand, I was like I did that. I was like, man, why did I remember thinking, why couldn't woe is me? Why couldn't it just gone right one time and I could make big money? Why couldn't the FDA approved it one time and I could have made money? The morning range is set. Yes. 446.88 to 445.14. So we're looking at $1.50 range. Trading in the zone. There you go. Yep. It's all Trump's fault. Got it. No. It's not any president's fault. Yeah, trading in the zone was a fantastic read. Fantastic read. If I win, I'm giving it to my mom. Get her to start investing. There you go. Great idea. Thanks, Ezekiel. Yeah, I'm trying to help everybody. Give back. Yeah, I feel you, Carline. Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad you be here. Thanks. I'm always happy to help, man. I'll always tell you how like it is. I will give you all of the lessons learned that I have brought over the years. All the lessons learned. I don't look at that, Isaac. Morning, Andy. How you doing, buddy? Jackson Hole this Friday. I guess we'll see. I don't want to form opinion on those, but I guess we'll see. I will say that September could be heavy, so we'll see. That's right, Brian. That's right. We're kind of at the extended. We're at these ranges where we have matched back up to where we were, these all-time high levels, and now it's like, all right, do we reject and go back down to the 50, or do we just blast on through to all-time highs and business is normal? So I'm not going to take either one of those scenarios out of the equation. We never know. I watched The Big Short this past weekend. I watched it again. Had a little downtime, late at night, popped in The Big Short, watched it. It's interesting to see because they talk a lot about how we've kind of dug ourselves in. What's The Big Short? Have you not seen that movie, Leah? Dude, you got to go watch that movie and read the book. Fantastic movie. It breaks down, obviously, from a Hollywood standpoint, how the 2008 market crash happened. Adjustable rate mortgages, man. Subprime loans, adjustable rate mortgages destroy the economy. So yeah, this what's it called? Tragic optimism, where you think the economy is never going to go down. It's going to go up and 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 up. Doesn't matter. Buy calls, climb. And we've been doing exactly that since March of 2020. That's it. Now when that switch flips with a TV. Just kidding. Yeah, I think Amazon Prime's got it. I know it was on Netflix at one point. I have it on Amazon Prime, so great movie. Great movie. Yep, Filipino. I agree. She's my celebrity crush. Possibly Brian, yeah. That's the question that brings in. We didn't actually touch the 50. We didn't get the full flush, so margin call, yeah, yeah. She's everybody's celebrity crush. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, The Big Short all around was a fantastic movie. Yeah, fantastic movie. All right, Lee Rat, going to Google and Google Wolf of Wall Street, Margot Robbie. Just, those 5 words. All right, so here we are at the 1 minute chart. Let's go to the 3 minute. Still hovering at the top after this massive green candle. Definitely supported volume, so the buyers are here, and we'll see how they are here to stay if not. Both movies, Ben. Yeah, both movies. Bouncing off top of the range for sure. I agree, Sebastian. Yeah. What percentage do you typically use for stops? I always shoot for 15. Most of my losses seem to be hovering right around the 20, 24%. Between 20 and 25% is usually where I take my losses in the past few months. I'm trying to turn that back a little bit, do a little more self-reflection on my trading log, and realize that my losses have gotten a little too large. So I want to start pulling those back, which was the last look I took. The last 2 losses I took were 18% and 20%. What do you think of Michael Burry's latest filing and his shorting of the 20-year bonds? I mean, he obviously, I don't know, the dude is obviously well more versed in it than any of us, and he sees stuff in the future, and he's able to see stuff between the lines that we all don't see. So we'll see. We'll see if he's right. You're welcome, Steve. Thanks for being here, buddy. Let's look at VIX. VIX is kind of consolidating 1746, which is a decent pivot zone here for VIX. So careful here if you're looking at taking calls. What am I working out today? Legs and cardio. Starting the week off with some legs. Kind of having to go a little leg heavy this week because of my broken finger. The thing is about a 10 on a pain scale, and it's swollen as all can be. But hey, that's all I can do, baby. Can I still bench? Yeah. I'm kind of can't. It's hard to supinate the wrists and grabbing on that thing, so it's like the wrist control is a little odd because it tweaks the pinky, but I can do it. At least I have a personal nurse. You're right. It's right. Yeah, I do my own trade log. I created in Excel, which you can see in the resources channel. Good stuff. Oh, yeah, you're using it as well. Good job. Thanks, Quam. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man. It's a great community. We're centered around learning SPY, mastering SPY, and making money off of one thing. Try to be a master of one instead of terrible at a lot of different stuff. There is the link if you do want to subscribe. You didn't just cut that thing off yet? Not yet. Not yet. For squats, do you recommend below parallel or a butt to grass? It all depends on your physiology. That's one of the many things about CrossFit that when I was in the CrossFit world that really aggravated me is that all the coaches, like when I would travel to different gyms, they all coached butt to grass. That's what, like, it's everybody. It's like, it's just not practical. A lot of people's physiology do not allow them to do that, even if you are stretchy and all that stuff. So what I usually try to shoot for is just a touch below parallel. If you've got your hip joint is right at parallel, I just go a touch below parallel so you can activate your whole posterior chain. You get the glutes, hammies all activated, and then go. But when I squat, I'm always just going a touch below parallel. That's my goal. Yeah, Justin, I need to post that. Yeah. I'm going to do that today. I promise. If you can win SPY consistently, there's no reason you can't win others as often. I disagree. I disagree. Although I see your sentiment, and the problem is that with individual stocks, they're a little more manipulated. They're more manipulated. So if they get targeted, if a certain stock gets targeted, or if the hedge funds short it, if they put that ceiling on there and start shorting that stock, or if you have a news piece, or if China comes out and bans, EVs, or not bans, but limits, restricts them, then Tesla's going to tank. It's too manipulated. Yes, you could have the same kind of success, but it's not going to be quite as accurate, in my opinion. Of course, I would, for me, it was the whole reason for me is I was tired of dealing with all of the stocks and all the different charts. And look at this. This thing is still going. Future's still breaking out. NASDAQ is still breaking out. VIX is still falling. And SPY is now at 447.23. Yep. Simpler the better, baby. Simpler the better. Occam's razor, baby. Sometimes the best explanation is the simplest explanation. I like to live by that. Trust me, I was a Tesla fanboy, man. I was a Tesla fanboy. I rode Tesla from the low three digits up to the 600s. And then I started shorting them, and then I got bit. So I was a Tesla fanboy. And then the volatility just became too much. Like I did not appreciate major swings. So, I played volatility in 2020. Like I played the vaccine announcements. I shorted the crap out of Norwegian Cruise Lines over and over and over again. And I loved it, man. And then it just got to the point where it's like, all right, I'm kind of tired of doing all this, and that's focus on SPY. Yep. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Now as I go on, I'll make the trading log more robust as well. I have some pretty sick Excel skills, so I'll start to round out the trading log a little bit better, make it a little bit better. Both actually, Lerat, both. I would short them and I would buy puts. Yeah, strategies for stock trading are different from options. They're a little bit different. So I was a little bit different trader when I was buying and shorting stocks. Curious, do you believe there's some sort of crash correction on the highs and with all the funding money that's been in the market for the last few years? September is historical rough month. Yep, September is historically a rough month, particularly last year. Do I think a correction is coming? I think everybody thinks a correction is coming. The whole thing is, what I try to do is not time it. I do think we are due for a very bad correction. I think there's going to be a correction that's probably going to surpass the 2008 correction. However, I'm not going to time that. I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to play against that. When it happens, it happens. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2024, 2022, 2021. Who knows? It could happen next month. It could happen next year. It could happen at the end of the decade. But I'm not going to play against it. You will know when it's happening. Like, you'll start to see the writing on the wall. As long as you're attuned to the market and you're paying attention and you're watching the news events regularly and you're following stuff and staying off freaking social media, you'll see it coming, at least within a few months. It could happen tomorrow, yeah. You could wake up and the Dow's down 200 points and then it just tanks. So how do you control your emotions? For me, it's, I like to pride myself on discipline. And then I've just been doing this a long time, experience. I've been doing this for almost a decade now. It'll be a decade in 2 months. So it's all about controlling your emotions and experience. Time and grade. So the NASDAQ is still beasting here. Futures are still up. We have some wicks starting to form on the top. XLF is up, but not too much up. And the bonds are up and down, trading flat right now, kind of having these swoops come in. VIX is 1739, starting to level out just a touch. I also shorted Tesla, and then Musk would make some statement and then would pop or sometime drop himself, manipulate the stock. SPY is ready. SPY is steady. Yep. I was long Tesla until December. And then I was like, okay, this can't go up anymore. Like, I think $74 was the 2020 low, or it was the price before Corona or something like that. I got into the hundreds, and SPY went up to obviously it was 620 or 630 by December, and that's when I started going short Tesla. And I quickly stopped being short Tesla. Quickly stopped being short Tesla. I think if you look at the December, January charts for Tesla, it went up every single day. Like, every day. It was crazy. It was crazy. Nope, I don't set any stops in my long-term trading account. I mean, there's no options. It's all stocks. So with the gains I've had, I could get out in time, for it to crash. I have $100 to try options. What would you buy for $100? Eek. What would I buy for $100? Good question. Good question. I would do some shorter, just try to find you a shorter, a lower price premium on SPY that is as less risky as you can get. Yep. Crypto, man, it's volatile. Quadruple your account size in 3.5 months. Nice, Beaver Terror. Awesome stuff. Nice, John. 8% on first E-Trade trade. Awesome stuff. Helps to have a job where losing your cool could kill you. Yep. 90% of pilot training in the Air Force is learning how to deal with emergencies, not even how to fly the aircraft. It's how to deal with stuff when things go wrong. It's fun when you go up to 20,000 feet and they shut the engine off. I won't say what I fly now, but I trained first, obviously, the Pueblo, which is the the diamond, and then I trade in the T6, trading the T6. Crypto freaks me out. I'm like 20% in 2 days. I'm going to dip out. Yeah. That's the thing. There's so many people that think that Bitcoin's going to 1 million, and there's so many people that think that Bitcoin will be at 0. So it's so volatile, man. It's such a community that's divided. Nice, Tommy. Well done. You're very, very welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not entering a play right now, Michael. I'm going to let things shake out here. Fixed wing, Kevin. You should go on the PKA podcast. I'm sure they'd love that. Yeah, I'd love to do it. I don't want to go asking someone to be on someone's podcast though. If someone reaches out to me, I'd love to, but I'm not going to be. I'm not going to go asking to be on a podcast. See, if you want to buy into a trend day, that's fine. Just wait for it to confirm that it's going to continue to be trend. It doesn't reverse back into the range. Once you have that mean reversion back into the range, it kind of kills the chances of a trend. So you want to be careful. You don't want to buy here and then it gets smoked out. Maybe you read a 9-line before you. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You might have. If you were a JTAC, you might have. What indicators am I looking at for to enter today's trade? I'm watching this volume, which right now volume is diminishing. I'm watching all the other sectors. I'm watching the Qs right now. Obviously, have this little red candle. If we come back into the range, I'm not really necessarily worried about here. If we come back into the range, like here, trend day canceled. Trend day canceled. Now I will see if we'll play calls back to the top of the range, but you got to be careful right here because we've got this pullback. And this is what I mean, waiting for confirmation that we're going to a trend. XLF is starting to round over a touch. The bonds are at the top of their range. 44639 here on the top, right at the top, just above, and it got this red candle here. Should I wait to have settled funds before I try and trade? And wait the 2 days may be a dumb question. Well, if you're trading options, it's T1. It's T1 settlement. If you have a cash account, say you've got $1,000 in a cash account, you can make 2 $500 trades in that day, open and close, or you can make 5 $200 trades. Obviously, if you try to enter a third trade with unsettled funds, you have to wait the next day. Otherwise, you'll get your hand slapped. PDT. All right. It's pretty significant red candle forming here. Selling volume is increasing as we come back down to the range. Yeah, for sure, Jacob. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I can attest to that for sure. That's right, Ezekiel. Yep. You can absolutely do that. That's why people ask me that question all the time. How do you day trade with options when you don't have 25K? Well, just get your cash account and you can open and close every single day. Every single day you can day trade. No idea. I don't trade Uber. Yeah, as long as you have settled funds, for sure. For sure. Man, look at this. Red candles right back into the range. NASDAQ getting bought though. You got this gravestone dope. Now it just flipped open. Red candle. XLF is starting to round over. That's fine. I ain't worried about all this. All right, Dan. I'm just chilling. I'm not going to touch puts today. I'm going to chill and buy the dip. That's all I'm going to do. Yeah, and like you have to identify when things are messing up, and full transparency with y'all. One of the traps I've fallen into is doing the live streams and being quote unquote options millionaire. Is that it's kind of made me feel like I need to catch every single swing. So even on bullish days, I need to take puts on the pullbacks and then calls on the upside. I need to perform, and it's driven me into this fallacy where I look for plays when there's not plays, taking puts when there's pullbacks when I don't need to be, and it goes against my main theme of the trader is me is don't fight the trend. So instead of fighting the trend, I just realized what I've done. I've realized that I don't need to take a play on every single move, and only take calls on upward trend days unless we have an overall market change. If we have an overall market sentiment change, then you take puts. But I'm not looking to catch every single little oscillation in the market or on the daily chart. I don't want to look at timing a put here perfectly on a little bit of profit taking. I want to time the dip and then buy the dips and then ride the calls up on bullish days. And that is the fix that I'm making after analyzing my trade log. After analyzing my trade log and seeing that I made plays that blew out puts on bullish days, that's what I've done. So, and I'm aware of that now. Are you not entertained? Yeah. Bitcoin is dumping. I like your cool, calm, and correct approach to the market. Helps me build more lives. Thanks, Isaac. Yeah, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Random question regarding TradingView. Is the VIX and NQ1 etc. not delayed on premium? You can get the VIX not delayed even when you're not on a premium. You have to get the right VIX, the TVC VIX. If a cash account would allow me to trade spreads, I would. Yeah, I feel you. There you go. Don't chasing waterfalls. All right, Jacob. $500 is $500, baby. Thoughts on FDA approving Pfizer? I think it's not kind of a non-event. I won't say non-event, but it's not really that volatile. Yeah. It'd been funny if the FDA had not given a Pfizer approval after vaccinated half the globe. Yeah. So you only trade a few stocks for few week at a time rather than jumping from stock to stock every day. I only trade SPY, SPX, and occasionally or rarely the Qs. So I'll throw in some Qs trades every now and then. And then sometimes I'll do some futures trading as well in pre-market. But yeah, that's it. That's all I trade. I smashed the SPY, baby. Let's look at the delta still. Yeah, 449s. Yep. Let's do with the 449s. In terms of the puts, let's go with 445s. Nicely, Rat. TVC VIX is the most, yeah, it does not delay. There's no delay in the TVC VIX. So be sure you're choosing that one. Make sure you don't have the little yellow D indicator. Does wash sales affect you only? I get this question all the time. Good question. I don't really, in the 10 years I've been trading, I've been searching for the proper answer to the wash sale rule. With options, with stocks, it's pretty cut and dry, it's pretty clear. With options, it's different because the whole question behind wash sales is inherently similar contracts. All right, is different expirations of SPY inherently similar? Is different strikes? I've asked a numerous amount of CPAs. I've researched. I've looked on Reddit. I've Googled everything. I can't get a straight answer. So I will just say that I don't like to tell one person one way or the other because it's tax advice. You do whatever. I will tell you this: I've never once in 10 years, never once had a problem with wash sale. It's never once affected me, not once. Do that with you will. All I suggest is you talk to a qualified tax professional that's well versed in investments to get his opinion. But yeah, never once affected me. Now the Nasdaq, you do have to pay for live data. VIX, no. Yes, I have once, Butter. I have once. Can I refer to my tax person? Yes, I have. And yeah, he gives the same question. So I'm looking at right now the 428 calls on August 27th for SPY. So kind of hovering up here at the top of the range. We had this dip right back up. The Qs are still very much bullish. NASDAQ is still doing its thing. Let's look at the bonds. They're well above their range, and XLF is here. So there's not too much rotation out of the financial sector yet. Yeah, it was just a random audit. At least that's what it was described to me as. What I was told if you make less than I think 350 a year, 350,000 a year, your chances of being audited is like 0.01%. That's what I was told. So, who is my tax person? I have a qualified CPA in my town. that does my taxes. He's I picked him out because he's well versed in investments. He actually does a lot of investing himself, so he knows, you know, a lot about this stuff. Yeah, Nasdaq's going crazy. Yes, there is a add-on for the live. I think it's the $2, $4 for all the mini futures, and $2 for the Nasdaq. $6 total is what I pay for the live data. Live data. Make less than 350, but I got audited because I did a 1031 exchange and a tax code 179. Those are red flags. Talking about the 179 expense. Have I done a video on my TradingView setup? I haven't done an official video just on my TradingView setup alone, but I have done a lot of videos on it. I could do a dedicated video on my TradingView setup. I know a lot of people ask about it, so. Spy, not soy. I mean, I do love some soy sauce, but yeah, it's definitely spy. I'll tell you what, I had some incredible Vietnamese food this past weekend. I think Boko, I think is what it's called, which is a Vietnamese beef stew. Incredible. I love like the Asian food like that with the Thai food, Vietnamese food. Love it. I've always wondered what gets on the radar, although I've heard that the IRS is pretty chill to deal with if you're above board with them. It wasn't a problem with me. You know, I had nothing to hide, obviously, and I had all my documents. So I just laid everything out, and that was it. You know, it was actually not that big of a deal. I'm brand new and ran to this channel. It seems like the easiest to understand. Any advice where I should start as a beginner? Yeah, Melly. I would definitely take a look at my YouTube videos in my educational channel. I would start with the Greeks. The Greeks is a good one to start with, kind of defining what the Greeks are. You can get ahead of it. And really just start to focus on all the educational videos and all the indicators. And then, of course, jump in the Discord and ask questions. Yeah, so. No sound on Patreon. Patreon still got sound? Someone said there's no sound on Patreon. Jump in the Discord and ask. See if you got sound. All right, sounds good. Sweet. 5x5. I love the 5x5. This either means you're a pilot or you're a military guy. I love it. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do that today though. I started working on some videos last night, some long-term videos. It's going to take me a while to do it. So yeah, I'm going to do a basic options 101 video, which is there a ton of them out there. There's a ton of options 101 videos out there on YouTube, but I want to do one that's tailored to our system, and that's going to be the next one. It's going to take a while to make though. That'll be a longer video. I want that to be a one-stop shop for basic options, how to understand them, how to trade them, how to enter them, how to look at them, how to analyze them based on my point of view. Yep, so it's holding that 447.02 very strong. I'm excited for you to be here, man. Lack. Yeah, come in and join the community, man. I hang out in the Patreon channel, the text channel, and the Discord. That's where I text and interact with everyone throughout the day. And we voice stream on the Patreon stream. And then we live stream here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have some SPY calls expiring today, already in the profit. Any idea if I should sell? I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I mean, we had a pretty bullish action this morning. So, I mean, what do you expect much more? That's the thing. So if I expected a lot more for now, I'd go ahead and buy a call, but I'm waiting to see how things plays out. If it were me, if your account was me, I would sell it, but that's just what I would do. Do I anticipate any downside soon? Potentially. Potentially. Right now, we've got this volume node forming. We have a little bit of support here. It's holding this 447 level pretty strong. So I'll just see how it comes. I'm not going to kind of anticipate anything, but we'll see what happens. Good morning, OM, all the wonderful people here. Great trading with you all. What's up, Andre? Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Yep, I updated my watch list. It's all you can do, most cheesy. It's all you can do. Newbie here want to ask, how long is your learning curve? In other words, how long does it take for you to become really profitable? Well, that's really up to the individual person, and it's all depends on how honest you are with yourself and set realistic expectations. Do you want to live off this? A couple of years. Do you want it to kind of supplement your income? Maybe a year or two, 2 years. You need to learn how to win, and you need to learn how to lose, and you need to learn how to change and adapt and overcome. So it all depends on what you want to do with this and what your goals are. Does lack of horizontal bars above the red line mean there are 0 positions held above that price? No. That was I set these based on the prior week's highs. So what I do is I come out to I zoom out a little bit, and I set the prior week high and low with these pink lines, and I kind of watch that. And we are at last week's highs already, day 1 of the week, and we're already back to the week's highs. It'll be 10 years. 10 years. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you are new to the channel, like and subscribe, baby. Hit that like button, subscribe. It helps us grow, helps scrape the visibility, and get more people in here so we can learn how to do this right. I promise you, you already know how to lose. Yeah, I know everyone knows how to lose. I know, but how to lose and learn from it. That's the thing. How long have I been trading with these strategies? This particular system and strategy, it's been since December of 2020. I've kind of tweaked it just a here and there, just little things here, but it's always been the overall system since December of 2020. Say I want to make 75 a year. How big does my portfolio need to be to do this for a living? Would 400K do it? Yes. If you're good at this, like if you dial everything in and you're honest with yourself and you've been doing this for a few years and you know how to do this, yes, that is very possible. 10 years, Brendan. I've been trading for about 10 years. It'll be 10 years this fall. I'm 21. I wanted to join the Air Force and Coast Guard. Just nervous about basic. Basic is a joke. I promise you. Basic training is a joke. If you're worried about dudes yelling at you or, people getting in your face, one, it makes you better. It toughens you up. Two, it's a joke. It's all a mental game. If you can handle a few months of that, it's a joke. How much weight do you place on pre-market action? It all depends. It all depends. If I see a lot of volatility, a lot of price swings in pre-market, I'll put a lot of emphasis on them. If I do not see much at all, then it's nothing. Like this morning, it was flat. Obviously, we got some bullish action into there. It all depends on the overall market conditions. Paris Island is no joke. Yeah, that's Marines. So Marines basic is a lot harder than Air Force branch for sure. I'll admit that. Before taking a loss, some people have found it useful to already have a winning plan in place. This way you engage immediately on a new objective. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not revenge trading. All right, so SPY, green candle. NASDAQ is still up top. Futures still there as well. XLF. Kind of rebound after this little oscillation down. A couple of green candles here. Bonds are starting to sell off. What are some of the market conditions to be aware of? I mean, that's a broad question, but I mean, you want to look at the overall sentiment of the day. Are the futures bright red or the futures bright green? Is FAANG all green and red? Look at the tech sector, look at the financial sector, look at the bonds. So it's the overall sentiment of the day. Make sure you're checking options flow data, level 2 data. Let's see. The squeeze momentum indicator thing at the bottom looks like a cheat sheet. What is that? That is the squeeze momentum indicator. That is a momentum indicator based on momentum of volume momentum. There is a good video about that. You can take a look at that in my educational series. It's a squeeze momentum indicator. Basically, it indicates momentum. And you've got the gray crosses, which right now we are firing to the upside 3-minute chart. And you've got the black crosses, which we had pre-market here. Haven't had one today yet on the 3-minute. Black crosses indicate we are squeezing. Gray crosses indicate you have a release to squeeze, which is momentum. Green indicates upside. Red indicates downside. What is options flow? Options flow is the volume of options. Like you can see, do we have any big block orders? Do we have any major large sells, institutional sells or buys in the options flow data? You can kind of look at the ratio between puts and calls, all the data that's associated with a particular ticker, and the underlying options is options flow data. Very crucial into developing a trend, figure out what the sentiment is in the market. When you're in the squeeze, Tofinot, it means that the buyers and sellers are basically duking it out, fighting it out. There's no real trend. There's no real release of trend. It's just you're kind of staying in a certain range, and the buyers and sellers are fighting it out. Bonds are starting to roll over. XLF is starting to climb. NASDAQ is green. Futures are still green here. What happens if the bonds tank to all-time lows? Bad for SPY. Well, it all depends. Like once again, it depends where that money is going, or the rotation of the money. Yeah, 3 big green days for SPY for sure. 44730. That would be a crazy green day. I wouldn't put it past it though. Let's keep some of the talk to the Patreon general room if y'all don't mind. There's a lot of people in there. I want to make sure everyone's getting the good stuff. I think it made me a lot better, Cam. It made me a better person all throughout my life, at home, trader, everywhere. Especially being a pilot as well. It teaches you discipline, multitasking, all that stuff. So SPY is still on the climb after popping up here to the top of the range. It has all the indications of a trend day. We'll see what happens. Yes, I have. Charlie Kicks, I have. How do you know when to take profit? I bought this morning for 20% gain, but now it's 100%. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want? If somebody were to walk up to you right now and say, here's 100% of your money profit, would you take it? Or would you say, nah, I'm going to wait up for the next guy behind you that's going to give me 150? He could come, he could not come. Bare minimum, take half of it. Take 75% off the table and leave 25%. Scale out. So, because yeah, you might get 150% of it, but in 20 minutes you could be at 20%. So, nice, John. You're killing it today. Awesome stuff. Oh, you sold it for 20%. Now it's 100%. I see. It's all about reading the volume. Of course, this kind of bullishness is hard. It's hard to predict that. Scaling out, in and out helps as well, but it's all about reading the volume. But you can only do so much because do you expect this to happen all the time? No. So half the time you could sell at 20% and it tanks to negative 15. So, but this time it happened to go up. Yeah, don't get me started on Pelosi. I do. Yeah, I do. The reason why you look at level 2 data is because you can see where the hedge funds are placing their levels. You can see where they're shorting. You can see where they're putting stuff on there. So, if right now at 447.26 and we come at level 2 data, we see a huge order come in at 448. Let's say we see on level 2 data, we see a massive order come in for 448. And you see this thing come up, pop it, drops, pop it, drops. It's filling that order. They're placing that ceiling there on purpose. And that's how you read that level 2 data. You got to see. You got to see where these things are putting that money because you can see where the levels are, where the ceilings are. She is the GOAT. It's easy to be the GOAT. Well, I'm never mind. I'm not going to go down that road. Yeah. I don't talk about my overall wealth, but you know, I've done pretty well with the market. I will say I don't have $1 million in my day trading account. That would just be crazy, especially me doing all SPY. But I spread my wealth across all of my platforms. Long-term, real estate, retirement, all that stuff. Would I invest in art or in Pokemon cards? Pokemon cards, no, just because I don't know anything about it. Art, yeah, just because art is considered an expense, and it appreciates. You could sell. I mean, if you are an art investor, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy that art was created just for to hide money. But yeah, definitely art. I would. Pokemon cards, I don't know anything about. No, my kids don't do Pokemon. They do Fortnite and hunting and all that stuff. They're outdoor kids, but they do Fortnite. 1176. 3 kids. I got 3 kids. So we have this little uptick, slow grind off the 8 EMA, 3 minute. Let's go to the 5. Still not even touching the 8, just beast mode all day. Qs are still doing the same. Have these stars up here. XLK, XLF is got this dragonfly up here. Bonds are at the top of theirs, kind of rounding over just a touch. NASDAQ has got a little red. Futures are popping up. So SPY is doing its thing. We are now above last week's high. Last week's high. And we tied. No, we popped all-time highs. Yeah, we popped all-time highs for sure. That's crazy. $10 move, all-time highs. Yesterday or last week we were at 434, and now we're all-time highs. Almost. Almost. It happened a little quicker than I thought it was going to, but yeah. Nope, I'm not. Because with this flush out of sellers last week, you don't know where the top is going to come. So I'm not thinking about taking puts. Well, thank you. Yeah, you know, I like to be a fun dad. You know, I tend to I jump in on a game before then Fortnite with them every now and then. I hold my own. My kids say that I can crank 90s, whatever that means. Man, look at this bullish actions. Futures are just going crazy. Qs are starting to round over here, while the futures and SPY are just beast mode on up, going nuts. Hey, Night Frog, yeah, you're welcome very much. Thank you for once again jumping in on the super chats. Thank you very much, $2, so appreciate that. We did call it. It went a little faster than I thought it was going to, but it was almost down to the day with that cyclical. Good stuff. So I appreciate you coming out and being here all the time, Night Frog. Thank you. Yeah, so yesterday, finally, when we were talking about Pokemon cards, my dad died a couple years ago, and he left a large quantity of coins. And I just happened to go through them yesterday for the first time, and I found an 1865 penny, United States penny from 1865 from the Civil War. So I'm kind of looking at it and see it's not in all that great shape, but it was just pretty neat to see as well. I love history. I'm a history buff, so it was really cool to me to see that. You're still in the $50 swing trade. 450 swing trade. Nice. Very cool. Do you still crank 90 skills? Legit. That's awesome. Yeah, it's just, I grew up playing Halo. So, Halo was my thing when I was a kid. I have a ton of Buffalo nickels from that era. Nice. Nice. Halo 1 was my first love, Dirty Dusty. Yes, I will. Charlie Kicks. Yes, I will. So that big bullish action here, red candle right off the top. Qs are starting to round over. XLF, that could have been a bull shakeout there. We'll see if we have any profit taking here. I'll be looking to buy the dips. Golden 64, baby. That's the OG. Wow, that's incredible. What's the indicator called? What's the indicator that's on the POC line? That's the volume at price indicator. Volume price. If you go into indicators, click on indicators and type in VP. Go down to KV4 coins right there. Volume profile, KV4 coins. Just a reminder for the TradingView setup video. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, look at this. It's going exponential now. So the NASDAQ is rolling over. The futures are still just beast moding right now. Decent volume. Decent volume. VIX is falling over 17, 18, so still climbing down. It was climbing down on green candles. That's funny enough. It was 447.59. We popped resistance, and now we're just blasting away. Yeah, just continue buying the weakness. Just continue buying the weakness after yesterday, after last week. Crazy stuff. It's funny how that works, Spicy, isn't it? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how bullish this has been. So we bounced off what 444.97. Now we're up to, we're almost to 447.60. So a $3 move. The Nasdaq started rolling over here. Got this touch little green as the VIX continues to fall 17.18. Healthcare is climbing up. XLB and E are at the top of the range there. XLK is just going beast mode right now. VIX is still down, and SPY is just green candle after green candle, just going nuts, going nuts. Four four 66. This is what your 100% day looked like. Yep, it sure enough did. Yep. Except we had a bounce, and I bought here at the bottom of the range, and then it bounced and did this. And man, that was a great day. On days like today, would you look for an exit? Obviously, we're blowing past the all-time highs. So here, I'm just looking for a pullback to buy because this is a very bullish day. It's probably going to continue on. Nasdaq's green, futures are green. I'll wait for a slight pullback and then grab it. Nice ace, 58%. Well done. If you're focused on day trading and starting out, I go anywhere from 10 to 20%. That's what I'm looking for. I want to strive for 10 to 20% gains. Going to buy taco supplies. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Good job, Corey. Double red here on the NASDAQ. VIX is still hovering out here. Slight increase on the 1723. We're up 5 cents off the VIX. And SPY is hovering 447.53. It might be. Got some awesome gains in the room today in the Patreon room. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do I ever think SPY will be below 300 again? Below 300? Man, never say never. I think 300 would be apocalyptic. 300 would be apocalyptic. 350, I think 350, but I think 300 would be apocalyptic at this point. Yeah, there's too much buying here to have any kind of downside here. We might have some profit taking, but it's not going to be sustained. Any dip will be bought up. This is just too much buying action. Yeah, the current deltas are still 38 for the 449, so I'm going to stick with the 449s. So we keep getting this stair step up. Like bam, flat, bam, flat, bam. Just keep getting these stair step up here. Everything gets bought up here. And we're at 447.55 now after a little bit of red. Nope, didn't take a position this morning, Jeff. 447.47, a little bit of red here after coming off of up here at 447.70. Look at that little red candle. Cool. So we got some little bit of profit taking here. That's what I want to see. A little healthy profit taking, and then buy that dip, baby. VIX is up curling here, 1723. Bonds are coming down just inside their range. Nice little red candle. Good, good. Bring it down a little bit, and we'll get a little healthy reset here and grabbing some calls. Should I sell my call now? I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just telling you I'm looking for buy the dip here. Looking for a dip play. Let's zoom out to the 5 5 down here bounced off the 8 EMA in the 5-minute chart. As the Qs bounce as well, XLF is still climbing. The NASDAQ came back in. The futures came down on the 8 EMA on the 5-minute here and bounced off and came up. We'll see how this thing reacts. Look at that big green candle buy up there. Holy crap. So every single dip is not even giving you a chance to buy it. It's just bouncing right up. You got to be quick to get that dip completely. Do I have an email address? Yes, I do. Nice, Paul. Well done. Great gains. Awesome stuff. So VIX coming down 1717. Was hoping for a little bit bigger dip than that. It did bounce off the 8, but you got to be quick. I think I bought up in a second, just raged. All right, so we are at 44.760, kind of hovering around this range after a little bounce off the 8 MA. I have a pal whose strategy is to hold over a year for capital gains. Yeah, that's one strategy. You're taking a lot of volatility there, though. So it is 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. I actually have to go ahead and hop off here just a few minutes earlier than normal. I will still be monitoring the market. I'll still be monitoring the Discord and the Patreon, so y'all hang out. I'll be making any alerts as needed and watching this SPY as it continues on going. I'm going to run and get me some things. Got a few things to take care of. And then, of course, I'm going to start that. I know everyone wants that Trading View YouTube video, the Trading View setup, so I'll be knocking that out as well. So I appreciate y'all being here, joining, taking the day out to come back and watch the YouTube and hang out with us on the Patreon stream. Thanks for being here. Let's continue on trying to make some smart decisions and make a little money into the afternoon and go and have a great rest of the week. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you are new as well, come over and join the Discord, man. A lot of great resources, a lot of cool people, and just a great overall community that's focused on learning and educating. So thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I love hanging out with y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow in the Patreon chat only, and then back here on YouTube for Wednesday. So thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all later. See ya.